Introduction to the poet Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda, 1904 to 1973, born Neftali Ricardo Reyes Basualto in Chile, was a Nobel Prize-winning poet and diplomat, widely regarded as one of the greatest poets of the 20th century. He wrote in diverse styles, ranging from passionate love poetry, 20 love poems, and a song of despair, to surrealism, historical epics, and politically charged verses. His work is known for blending everyday imagery with deep philosophical and existential themes, often reflecting on the human body, nature, suffering, and social injustice. Introduction to the translator, Alastair Reid. Alastair Reid, 1926 to 2014, was a Scottish poet, essayist, and one of the most celebrated translators of Spanish-language literature. He is best known for his sensitive and poetic translations of major Latin American writers, including Jorge Luis Borges and Pablo Neruda. Reid's literary sensibility and close relationship with Neruda enabled him to bring out the layered metaphors and emotional nuances in Neruda's verse with remarkable fidelity. Stanza-wise summary of To the Foot from Its Child. 1. The Innocent Foot's Dreams. The poem begins with the image of a child's foot unaware of its own identity. It doesn't recognize that it is simply a foot. Instead, it dreams of becoming something more beautiful or fantastical, a butterfly that soars in freedom, or a fruit like an apple, cherished and admired. This opening stanza symbolizes the innocence and boundless imagination of childhood, when everything seems possible, and identity is fluid, full of wonder and aspirations beyond reality. 2. Lessons from the world. As the child begins to walk, reality intervenes. The foot is introduced to the harshness of the world. Sharp stones, shards of glass, rough paths, streets, and ladders. These daily challenges teach the foot that it cannot become what it once dreamed. It cannot fly or ripen like a fruit. These objects symbolize the obstacles and disappointments of growing up, where one learns that life imposes limitations, and dreams are often curtailed by pain and experience. Imprisonment in the shoe. The poem now portrays the foot's loss of freedom. It is described as defeated, having fallen in the battle of life. It becomes a prisoner, condemned to live inside a shoe. This metaphor speaks of how individuals, as they grow, are forced into molds, into societal roles, expectations, routines, and disciplines. The shoe symbolizes conformity and the suppression of the child's original spirit and individuality. Smash Room 4. Solitary growth and blind exploration. In its confinement, the foot slowly begins to understand the world in its own way. Cut off from its fellow, the other foot, and enclosed in darkness, it gropes through life like a blind person. This powerful metaphor captures how individuals learn in isolation, often detached from others, developing their personal perceptions of the world under constrained conditions. There is a loss of connection and shared experience, highlighting solitude and introspection. 5. Transformation and hardening. This stanza presents the physical and symbolic changes of the foot. Once soft and tender, with delicate nails and pedaled toes, it begins to grow hard, turning into an opaque, horn-like substance. This transformation is a metaphor for the toughening of human beings as they age and endure life's hardships. The child's innocence and grace give way to ruggedness and adaptation for survival, both physically and emotionally. 6. Grotesque deformation. The poet deepens this transformation by describing the toes as becoming malformed, like eyeless reptiles or worms. These grotesque images emphasize how the natural beauty of childhood is disfigured by life's burdens. The loss of vitality and aesthetic softness is replaced with something utilitarian but deformed, evoking how age and toil warp the physical form and human spirit. 7. The callousing of the soul. The feet grow calloused, covered with the faint volcanoes of death. This chilling image is both physical and metaphorical. Calluses suggest endurance but also desensitization. The volcanoes of death imply the quiet, slow eruption of mortality within the body, how death begins to manifest early, subtly, through the signs of aging and physical wear. Accepting this process is emotionally difficult, signaling the loss of youth and the inevitability of decay. 8. The relentless journey. Despite all this change and pain, the foot continues its work tirelessly. It walks without pause through all places, fields, markets, mines, ministries, traversing physical and symbolic landscapes. This journey represents human life in its entirety: labor, duty, movement, and restlessness. Life does not wait. It pushes the body forward, often without awareness or reflection. The foot represents the will to continue, even when disconnected from dreams. 9. The descent into darkness. The foot eventually descends underground, symbolizing death. This happens unconsciously. It is unaware of its journey's end. The phrase "everything was dark" evokes not just physical darkness, but the spiritual and existential mystery of death. The underground descent suggests burial, but the lack of awareness reflects how death often comes without resolution or understanding. The foot's function ends, not with fulfillment, but with silence. 10. Exposure in moments of love and rest. In rare moments, during love or sleep, the foot is finally bare and free. These are the only times it escapes its confinement, revealing itself. Love and sleep are metaphors for vulnerability, peace, and intimacy, occasions when the human soul can be authentic and unguarded. These moments interrupt the cycle of struggle and provide glimpses of the original innocence and freedom the child once dreamed of. 11. The final ambiguity, rebirth or end. The poem ends with a question. Did the foot cease to be a foot, or was it being buried to transform, to fly or become an apple, fulfilling its childhood dreams at last? This closing stanza introduces ambiguity. Is death the end, or is it a rebirth into something greater, more poetic? This unresolved mystery leaves the reader contemplating the cycle of life, the endurance of dreams, and whether death is a defeat or a transcendence. Let me know if you'd like this summary adapted into a speech, lecture,